Oh hi everybody, welcome back to another restoration video here on the Eunos Resto MX5. And yes, finally, it's the last video. We have come to the end of the road of rebuilding this car. But before we wrap it up, we're going to show you a little bit more what we're doing here today. And the last job on here is trying to revive this 28-year-old paint job and give it a bit of a gloss. Now it's had a bit of a hard life, this paint job. I mean, I've owned it for about 16 years, the car. And in that time, I think it's only been polished or waxed once. Shame on me. Yes, I know. But not all is lost. So we're going to try here today with some products here. We're going to be clay barring the car and giving it a nice old polish. So what are we using here today? We're using the T-Cut package here. You can buy here in the UK from Halfords. It's classic clay bar kit with a smooth mirror-like paintwork finish. Doesn't live up to the name. So what you get here is, of course, clay liquid for your clay barring, your wax, and of course your clay bar. Now it's about 22 quid here. So yeah, I wouldn't pay any more for it, but these bars alone are worth about £10 each, so not great. So we're going to crack on and get this dull paintwork looking like great. Now I've already gone one step ahead and started last night. I thought I'd give it a bit of a trial and error, and I've already done the boot lid here. As you can see, it needs probably a little bit more done to it, but to be honest, it has come up trumps. As you can see, it's very nice and glossy and shiny, and there's no hard bits all over it. So the clay bar does work, as well as the polish. Now the polish did take a while, of course. It took about 2 or 3 runs over it to actually get this shine out. Now this paintwork is never going to be showroom finish. No, it has lots of scratches on it, lots of little chips. For 28 years it's seen a bit of battle. But nevermore, I can get the gloss back and try and make it look half decent. But anyway, so let's get on with it, and hey, let's have some fun with this, shall we? Now before we get started, there's some other little things I've been busy with, making this car look a lot better, and a bit more painting. As you can see here, I know this might sound silly, but I decided to repaint my old jack in its original bluey colour. I'm not too sure why the early cars came out with the blue jacks, but they just did. So mine was a bit tatty, and as you can see, it came out looking nice. Luckily the guy down the road in the auto parts store had the right paint for this. So not only that, I also painted the jack handle. Very snazzy. And I'm sure this is going to look good when the boot is detailed. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get on with it. Now before you get started, as you can see the difference here from the boot lid I did last night being very nice and shiny, and this is very oxidized. Very bland red. But anyway, the first thing you need to do before you do any of this is to give it a bit of a wash. So today I'm going to be hand washing it. Make sure you get any loose crud, dust and, well, whatever, off the car. Right, now she's all nice and dry, and you can see and feel if there's anything rough on your body. This one's not too bad. You know, it's time for the wax. Now I'm going to be using T-Cut clay wax with a hand polish first. Then I'm going to buff it out using the buffer. So when the whole area is like that, it will come out looking like you've just sanded it. Let that sit in there for a little bit. Now after a few passes on here, as you can see, this has come up really, really nice. Of course with your cloth, just go over for a little bit more. Shine it up. And pieces that the buffer couldn't get to. Now, I'm not going to be fixing any scratches and that until I've actually finished all this waxing and that, so there's no point in doing that while the paint is in its pretty bad state. Yeah, just could do with a little bit more on here, but you know what? It is never going to be a showroom condition paint job, so just remind yourself that, because apart from that, it looks real nice. So moving on. Dull plastic work here, shiny and dull. So, but to be honest, it's going to be the same style of routine here. It's just to wash it all down. So spray solution. Or just use your soap suds. Now I'm sure this is just laundry detergent in here with a fancy name on it, so you know what these companies do, they want you to believe that their product is superior. However, it does the job, so can't complain. Sure, you do need a lot of time and patience to do this job. So but hey, it is well worth it in the end if you want to preserve the life of your MX5. As you all know now, these are coming up to cars that actually do need a lot of attention nowadays to keep them well, on the road, and to be honest, to be still running. You know, rust, as you've seen a lot with this car, suspension and all that stuff. Many cars of this age will be coming up to that age gap where everything needs to be replaced. Quite likely this is coming up all right, so there's no need to do it 100 times. It's up to you, but this has come up not too bad actually. Seems like I need a bit of a bolt in the back of that. Let's have a look at that later on. Well, there we go everyone, we have now completed the entire paintwork of the car with claybar and waxing, and as you see, it has really come back to the shine it was back when I bought it over 16 years ago. However, it's not fared as well. I mean, the bonnet was the hardest panel to do in the car, as it does have a fair amount of scratches over the years, but it's still very shiny, and I'll show you all of that in a montage in a moment. But anyway, there's only one thing left for me to do, and that's to put the rear spoiler back on. But I'm not going to do that today. I just got a little, I want to repaint that one and put it back on. So, besides that, the car is finished. Now, I'd like to thank everybody for watching all the episodes here on the restoration of the Eunos Roadster MX5. And if anyone has one of these cars and they do want to get into it, it is very advised to get to this level, to have another car as an everyday car, so you can actually whack it in the shed and work on it. It's very hard to do it when you are using it for an everyday car. Now, it's been a long journey with this one. As you already know from my videos, back in 2016 it had been sitting in a shipping container for 5 to 6 years, going rusty, and it was in pretty bad condition, as you could have seen in one of my earlier videos of this car. It was in pretty poor state. Everything, there was a lot of rust, there was a lot of wear, every part on it mechanically needed replacing. Now, a year and a half later, it is completed. What a long journey. Sure, if I had more time on my sleeve, you could have done this job in about 4 or 5 months, to be honest. But with work and life commitments, as you know, these things take time. But now it's ready to be put on the boat to head for Australia. So the next step for this car, as it's all cleaned up and ready to go, it's going to be put into storage now and awaiting the shipping permits, so I can send it on its way to another land to live for another day. So that's it for the car. Thank you all for watching. The next videos I'll be making is how to import a car to Australia. So we're going to follow the journey of this car all the way to Australia, and step by step, as I'm learning myself, we're going to be showing you how to ship a car to another country. So the journey's not quite over yet. But anyway, here's a montage of everything on the car, and I hope you enjoy, and thanks for watching. Goodbye for now.